Some of these tires that are meant to be tubeless are kind of hard to break the bead on. In other words, get the bead pushed down away from the rim. So what you should try to do is work on the opposite side from the valve stem. So I've got that down at the floor here, and then take the tire and roll it like that to get it away from the bead. They kind of lock in. So once you've done that, you can go all the way around and then start bringing the bead up and over the wheel, like with the tire tools, or in my case, screwdrivers. There you go. I've got it all, the tires all the way from the bead. Now, I can again start with my screwdriver. Again, here we want to start at the valve stem. It's up on this end. I'm going to start there and get my tire tool or screwdriver under the bead of the tire, and then work that up and over the tire rim carefully. If you're going to reuse that tube, you don't want to pinch it, so you want to be careful to not do that. You just slowly work your way around and get the tire up, off, and around the tire rim. Now I've worked the tire off of that side of the wheel. The whole bead is off, bead of the tire off the rim. And now just get in there, grab the tube, and get it out of there. Just pull that old tube out. I'm putting the Tannus Armor in, of course, so I've got new tubes which are much smaller. Now we're inserting the Tannus Armor into the tire. That's just a struggle. You just got to use your fingers and get that thing up inside the tire, as I'm doing right now. Just work it around, keep working with it, get it inside. Okay, I got the new smaller tube that works with the Tannus Armor. It comes matched for it when you buy the set like that. And now I'm going to start by getting the new tube into the hole in the rim, get the stem in there. A little tricky. There it goes. So once you got that stem down in there, then just start working the tube into the tire. Now I got it a little messed up here. Yeah, there we go. Now just start working the new tube inside the Tannus insert, all the way around. I got the tube in there with a little bit of air in it, so it's kind of spread out, not folded over and pinched inside the tire. And I'm rolling it, pushing down on it to kind of, again, get the tube evenly distributed so it's not folded or pinched or pulled tight. And then another trick that I'm doing that I haven't talked about yet is when you're doing this kind of stuff, put a valve cap or some tool, they make little tools for this actually, on the valve stem so it cannot pull back inside the tire as you're working. Next step, get the flange, the edge of the Tannus Armor inside the wheel bead area. Just gotta go around, fingers, a little bit at a time, get that edge in there. Then that last step would be to mount the tire. Now start using the tire tool to work that tire down over the rim. Like I say, probably better use a tire tool, but I use some just screwdrivers, just be careful with them. Anyway, once you get that tire down over the rim and it's on about 2/3 of the way around towards the stem, you're working opposite from the stem right now to install this. Once you get it around there, you want to work that tire bead down into what we call the valley, the low part of the rim, because we need some clearance when we get over to the stem to mount that tire on over the rim. It gets tight. So you want the tire bead down in this valley of the rim to give a little slack to get the bead over. So I'm pulling it down in there. And once you got about 2/3 of the way around, it's pulling, so it'll tend to stay down in the bead, down in the valley, I should say, as you continue to mount the tire on the opposite side at the stem side. There we go. Now continue. Basically, what I'm doing is just using the tire tool working that tire over the rim edge. It'll get tight towards the end. So if you need to, go back and check the valley down there. Make sure that bead is down as low as you can get it into the valley. And the Tannus Armor will kind of try to prevent that, but you can do it. Squeeze in on it.